You don't become wealthy by accident, and you definitely don't do it just by working hard. It wasn't until I learned these 7 principles, some of them the hard way, that things finally changed for me. So if you are tired of making good money but still feeling like there has to be more, then this video is for you. And the first principle that I learned is pay attention to my money. Now, it sounds common sense, but we all know that common sense is not common. And honestly, it all starts here. Before I ever automated a transfer or opened up a brokerage account, I had to stop ignoring my money. I started tracking everything from my income to my expenses, even looking at my pay stubs and seeing how much taxes and contributions from my 401k were coming out. And I checked it weekly, reviewing my subscriptions and actually opening up my banking app and asking myself, where is my money going? You don't just budget once a month and call it a strategy. You must check in often, because here's the truth: what you ignore, you lose, but what you pay attention to, that grows. The second principle that I had to learn is to pay myself first. Now, this one was a game changer. I used to pay my bills, buy what I needed, and then try to save whatever was left. But spoiler alert, there was never anything left. Now I invest in me first. Every dollar that I earn, it gets divided up automatically from my employer to the accounts that I desire to direct it towards. That means investing automatic, saving automatic, and bills are paid automatic. So the biggest part is out of sight, out of mind. Before anyone else sees it, I pay myself first. So imagine that you're making $10,000 a month. 20% go towards your investments, 10% savings, 60% your lifestyle, and that 10% is guilt-free living. I thought that saving was enough until I realized that this next principle was the one that was keeping me from the real freedom I desired. And that is that your income is your greatest wealth building tool. You can't outsave a low income. And unfortunately, this is where a lot of women fall trapped, because you can only cut so many lattes, but there's no cap on what you can earn. I stopped avoiding salary conversations and I started negotiating. I built side income streams, and I finally saw my income as the fuel to build wealth, not just to survive. And once I did, I realized something even bigger. Most people protect their stuff, but not their income. Your biggest threat to wealth isn't an expense, it is a loss of income. That is why we have our true own occupation disability insurance policy. And I evaluate the need for the disability insurance and the benefit that it provides us every single year to make sure that it's up to date and that it's adequate. Because if you're a high income earner, your ability to earn is your greatest asset. Therefore, you must protect it. And that takes us to the fourth principle, is to own assets, not just stuff. Now, let's talk about that designer bag in the room. I had to ask myself, is this an asset or just an accessory? Is it helping me to build wealth, or is it just helping me to look like I already have it? Real wealth lives in assets. And to me, an asset is anything with the potential to grow over time. So that includes stocks, real estate, and businesses, things that appreciate, things that work even when I'm off the clock. If it doesn't grow in value or pay me, then it's not building wealth, period. So I started reducing what I spent on things that depreciate, which brings me to the next principle. And it might sound a little contradictory at first, but stay with me. Cheap isn't always enough. You have to spend intentionally. Now, I'm laughing because I am still working on this here, people. I'm being vulnerable with you for a moment. I remember that my husband and I, we were newlyweds and we were going to celebrate the nuptials of a friend in India. I was in charge of booking the flights, and on the way there, it made sense. I booked a flight from Atlanta to India, and then we celebrated the wedding, and from there, we went to Thailand. But on the way back, oh my goodness, I should have picked the direct flight, but I picked the cheapest flight, which required that we got our bags, we sent them through customs twice, and it was a huge burden and headache. There is a difference between being cheap and being intentional. And I spend money now, but only if it buys back my time, if it reduces stress, or it supports a goal. And that is not wasteful. That is strategic because cheap has a cost. And it's not just the money. It is your time, it is your energy, and sometimes it is your peace. Because spending is not the enemy, but mindless spending is. So be intentional about how you spend your money because that is where the true freedom lies. Which brings me to this question. If you had $8,760 right now, what would you do with it? Some of you might be thinking, oh, I would pay off debt. Others might invest or start a business or book that dream vacation. But none of you are thinking, I'd waste it. Yet many of us do, not with money, but with time. Because guess what? You have 8,760 hours in a year. So the next principle is to understand that time and peace are more valuable than money. And for years, I gave money all of the power. Every decision was based on saving more, earning more, or spending less. But that real flex, like where I am now, is understanding that time is more valuable than money. And you can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. And once I realized that, I stopped chasing perfection. And I started investing consistently because I needed my money to grow even when I didn't have the time to actively earn it. And I stopped chasing opportunities that disrupted my peace. Compounding growth doesn't reward the smartest investor. It rewards the one who starts. Money grows, but time doesn't. So spend your time and protect your peace like it's priceless because trust me, it is. I needed to do one thing because everything else that I learned helped, but none of them worked until I changed this one thing. I stopped relying on discipline because willpower fades. Life gets busy. So I built systems. I automated savings, investing, and bills. And I did a full SWOT analysis on my finances. What are the strengths, the weaknesses? What threats do I need to protect against? And then I created a system to eliminate those threats and make my wins automatic. My money grows even when I'm not thinking about it. The goal isn't discipline, it is design. So trust me, you don't need more hustle. You need a better system. You need to learn these 7 principles that help me go from having high income to actually building wealth. And trust me, you can do this too. So if you learned anything in this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm to send this out to more people so that they can find this knowledge. And if you learned something, then subscribe for more simple strategies to build wealth, especially if you are a high income earner or a woman in healthcare like me. And if you're still struggling to understand your financial profile, to understand what are the next steps, then I have built out a 30-day financial joy success script. It basically takes you day by day on what you need to be doing now to build wealth. Remember, time waits for no one, so get started today. And until next time, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.